Hello, welcome to lidl.doodle. Thank you for checking out my channel. I'm Tony, a mom, wife, high school teacher, artist, and writer. To kick things off on this channel, I thought I would share how I set up a new bullet journal. 4 months into the year seems like an odd time to set up a new journal, but this was the first year that I did not start a new one in January. More on that in a second. If you're here watching, you're probably either my mom or my friend, but I'll tell you really quick what this channel is about. I'm a lifelong lover of stationery, pens, journaling, and art, and I have felt a little tickle in my brain for quite some time that I wanted to put together a channel to share things that might inspire, interest others in those areas. I love watching others' channels and have been inspired by so many, and so my hope is to do the same for others. So thanks for checking it out. Okay, back to the new journal. Last year I had taken a few months off of bullet journaling to try another system, and by September I was super twitchy and grumpy about it. So I just decided to jump back into bullet journaling. I started this new journal in September and made myself the commitment that I was going to just pour into it, everything. So when January rolled around and I still had some pages left, I was probably about right here in January, I wanted to finish it off, and so I made the decision to fill up the entire book before moving on. So here I am. I'm down to like the last 2 or 3 pages that I'll use up for March, and I'm really glad I did that because it's super satisfying to see all these nice crumpy pages. So there's a few things that I do to set up with every journal. This is the new journal that I've started. I use Leuchtturm notebooks. I have tried other ones, but I just keep gravitating back toward these. So a few things I do with every journal. I don't start on the first page. I give myself, these are like setup pages if you're familiar with this notebook, but I never start my actual journal on the first page. I do this with every notebook, sketchbook. I tell my students if they have like a fear of the first page, just there's something mental. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Just flip the page. And then I start like on the second or third page. I also always do a pen test page, and that way I can practice with new pens or see what a pen's going to look like, the colors, if I'm doing any kind of color combination. And the fun thing is at the end of a journal, my pen test pages just look super fun, and I can see all the different pens that I've tried out over time. So I really like that. I do love stickers, and so throughout the year I collect all kinds of different stickers, or if I go shopping and get a sticker from somewhere, I will, my name and address is on there, and there's a bad word under this finger, but I will put stickers on the inside of all of my journals. And to get started with my journal, I jump right in and I try to do as many pages as I can just to get started, so it feels like I'm already living in it. So the first couple of pages, I'm just going to do a little bit of a flip through here. The first couple of pages, I'm typically playing around with color, doodling. This one, just was a little quote about spring since we're coming on to April. I collect these. They're from this little stationery store that we go to about once a month, and they make their own paper, and it's like a printing press place, and they do all kinds of fun stuff. So I collect these and I find places to put them in my journal. A lot of times they're seasonal. This was my last year's journal. There was a butterfly, and then again, I kind of did the same thing for both setups here. The next page I decided to do was a things in spring page. I have gone away from like a bucket list or a must-do page because at the end of the month or the season that I've set up, if I haven't done those things, I feel kind of like lame and like a bum. So I just decided to do some things in spring. Like obviously I'm going to fill my bird feeders, and I'm going to do some spring cleaning, and I want to do a few hikes. I'm finishing up as a teacher. I'm national board certified. If you're a teacher, you might know what that means. And every 10 years I have to do a maintenance of certificate. So I have to keep my certificate active. So I'm right in the throes of that, and it's due in May. And so I need to finish that up. The next page that I did was a gratitude page. I like to do these in every journal, and even maybe once a season. I typically write the same things, but it's just kind of keeps it in my mind, and as a reminder, if I'm having a bad day or anything, I can go back to this page and think about what I'm grateful for. It's not my go-to palette to do pastels, but I was playing around with some different colors and just decided I would give it a try. We'll see. Most journals, I have like a specific goal. This last journal was to pour everything into it, which I did. This journal, I think my goal is going to be to try out new color schemes and maybe try to do some themes, like see if I can stick to one color one color scheme for the whole month. We'll see if I like it. If I don't, I'll just move on and do something different. So I've been bullet journaling for about 9 years, and it's taught me a lot about myself. People and my students love to tell me how they're not creative or they're too much of a perfectionist, and I tenderly call BS on that because I just think we can all grow into creativity, and bullet journaling over the last 9 years has contributed to breaking my own ideas of perfectionism. And it's crazy to think that this activity can have such a huge impact on mental health and life perspective. But I can honestly say that journaling and immersing myself in art and creativity has just calmed the storms of my mind and encouraged my dreams, and even given me the confidence to hit record today. So the next spread I've got, it's 2 pages, and I migrated this from my last journal. I've got a list of ideas, videos, and things that I might show and share. And then I have a list of writing ideas. This is something that I have multiple pages in most of my journals about different, ideas that'll pop into my head, or, things that I might want to develop into a story or a short story, or if I enter a writing contest or anything like that. So the next spread, so I'm right in the middle of a unit with my art students called mark making, and it's abstract art, and it's literally making marks on the page. And I always like to have a lot of examples of what I'm teaching my students in my own journals, so that I can share with them that it's real life and it's what people do. While traditional art at the high school level at least might be painting, drawing, and sculpting, there's a lot of other things that we can do to feel creative. This side is a poem that popped up in my Facebook feed a little while ago, and I had it in my old journal, and I just really liked it. It's just kind of about honoring all the women that you've been in your life, and as I am approaching my 50th birthday this fall, I'm reflecting a lot, and it's just kind of a cool poem. So I did some collage with just some cool paper that I had, and some transfer stickers that I discovered this summer that I can get on Amazon for really cheap, and they just add little accents. So I just am kind of all about the filling the page these days, and I really like that. So because we are coming up on April, first of all, here's my Welcome April spread. I did this just with some markers, kind of trying it again to stick to that same color palette. And this will eventually be a quote page. I laid out this paper. I thought it accented this nicely. And I found a quote that I really liked, and I wrote it, I think like 5 times, and I could not get the spacing right. And so I got irritated and I just gave up. So I will come back to that eventually, but I just needed to move on from that page. So that will just sit there waiting for the quote. So here's my month of April. Sticking again with the same colors. I don't have any of my appointments or dates filled out yet, but these are all stickers from an Etsy store called Mandy Lynn Plans, and I will kind of go crazy once in a while and order a bunch of sticker kits and then use them everywhere. And these are the ones that I thought worked well with the April spread. So I do this every month. Every month starts with the monthly because I need the monthly look, and then I move to the weekly look. So this is how I set up my weekly for the first week of April. These are going to be my appointments. These will be my just daily to-dos, and guaranteed I will migrate my to-dos throughout the week. And that's okay. And again, using some stickers. I'm pretty sure these are still Mandy Lynn Plans. If not, I'll figure out where they're from. But anyway, same color scheme. I realized after I did this spread that I didn't leave like a section for any tracking or any notes or anything. Usually I will leave, a box open for something like that. So instead of tearing it out or, getting frustrated, like I tell my students and like I have adopted myself, that whenever I make a mistake in my journals or my art, I just look for ways that I can incorporate it. And I actually feel like that is a stretch to our creativity when we have to look at, okay, I made this mistake. Now, how can I incorporate it? And it maybe taps into a different part of our brain. I don't know if that's in research or not, but it's what I think. So the last page I'm going to share is my currently page. So this is kind of a fun one that I don't do every month, but when I do it, it's fun to look back on it and see whether I do it at the end of April or the beginning of April, and then look back. What was I loving doing or reading, thinking, etc. And I'll usually put a few bullets or a sentence or two in each box, and then I can go back and say, oh yeah, I was thinking about starting a YouTube channel back in November, and here I am. So that's kind of a fun page to do. So that's how I have set up my new bullet journal that I'm going to move into officially on April 1st. And I'm sure future videos I'll share progress and hopefully some pages that might be inspiring to you if you are a bullet journaler or just thinking about journaling. I don't just traditionally bullet journal in here. Well, I don't really traditionally bullet journal at all. But as far as the system that Ryder Carroll set up, I kind of do my own thing, or I do what I'm inspired by with Pinterest. So that's all I'm going to share for today. Thank you for hanging out, and I hope that there are some ideas or inspiration that you can take with you. But for an added bonus, what I want to do at the end of my videos is share a pen. My husband and I have been collecting fountain pens for quite some time. We have quite the collection that we're very proud of and that we cherish. And while I bought my first fountain pen probably in college, I think it was a Pilot Metropolitan that took just a cartridge. We really got into fountain pens back in probably 2014, and this is the first fountain pen that I actually ever bought that was like what I would consider like a real fountain pen. Not that Metropolitan isn't a real fountain pen, but this is a TWSBI Eco. And I bought it from Goulet Pens. If you're familiar with the fountain pen community, you know that that's a pretty popular online retailer. It's in a bold nib. And the ink I have filled with it is called Colorverse Glue On. Oops, there we go. And I'll do a quick little writing sample with it. It's one of my favorite inks. It's so pretty. It's weird. It's a weird color. It's kind of like a yellowish green, and it's got like a copper tint, and I absolutely love it. And this pen is a workhorse. I can go days, weeks, months without picking this pen up, and I pick it up and it writes beautifully, and it's wet because it's a bold nib, and the shimmer does not clog it up. I have had no problems with this pen whatsoever. So if you are in a place to get what we called penabled, the TWSBI Eco is a great starter pen. I think this one probably retails at about $32. It's absolutely worth it. They are sturdy. I have quite a few TWSBI Ecos. They come out in these great colors, and I collect them. So any new color comes out and I'm like, oh, new TWSBI. So it's a great pen. I would answer any questions if you have them, but yeah, it's a great starter pen. So, okay, that's it for today. Thanks for checking my video out, and I hope to see you again.